What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiringspike. I think the fact that X can be 0 makes it a little bit more exciting, but like again, I know I was playing bad, but like questing Druid was like legitimately great the entire league. You know, it was like this effect seems so, like such a perfect tool. Just having this like powerful 3-for-1 is kind of, you know, the exact thing that's going to really power up an archetype like this. Agatha scales look pretty good. The testing has been going really good the last couple of days. Up the Beanstalk has looked good. Agatha's Cauldrons look good. Questing Druid has looked good, and Knight of Sweet's Revenge has also looked good. It's Besiege the Mirror has looked bad. We'll still give it another go. The Turtle looks kind of bad. I don't know if we'll give it another go. Maybe we will. Can you escape Druid on Adventure? I don't think so. I plan to draft an Eldraine, not on stream. I have some friends that like draft on Mondays, and I didn't go this week. If I have time, maybe I'll go next week. Yeah, Agatha's Cauldron sounds pretty fun. There was a chatter who suggested trying to... well, we'll go for the Seek the Beast here. There's a chatter who suggested trying to Agatha's Cauldron Gristlebrand onto Shieldred, which just sounds so sweet. I've wanted to activate Gristlebrand with Shieldred in play for the longest time, and that just sounds so cool. It doesn't sound like particularly good, but it's good enough to like try. Question 2 seems 6 far. I was thinking Fear Fire Foes for ring matchups. I see. That's kind of an interesting thought. I just don't know. It's kind of tough, like these cards that are only good against the ring and ring matchups. I think you just mostly need to like pressure their life total, and that has to be your plan as a red player. It does get spell pierced, huh? Luckily, Clover might be decent. Yeah, the adventure creature quality did go up a lot, and like I don't think that there was a payoff like Lucky Clover, but it would most likely be more of a Pioneer power level upgrade. I should maybe just get land here so I can breach. So I'll have 5-6 cards in the yard next turn, which is 1 short of breach double thing. But if I just find a fetch land, which is most of the lands in my deck, or draw a 0-drop, this probably ends up working out. I did draw a fetch land. So I think I could go breach bolt next turn and just keep bolt in my hand and put my opponent to 1. What about mono black reanimator? Yeah, it would be like a mono black Asmo reanimator shell probably. Maybe not Asmo, but yeah, that kind of deck, surely. For some reason I thought they were affinity and not or like, you know, Urza affinity. Can you breach adventures? I don't think you can breach adventures, but you can breach adventure creatures. So we could lose to Gingerbrute plus Swiftspear, Shadow Spear somehow, or a second hammer. But we should just be able to go bolt, and then bolt them on my turn. No way we lose. Yeah, I guess Gingerbrute gain life is kind of a funny line too. But they also might not play that card. That card is not in every hammer list. I think you can breach adventures. Yeah, do we have any judges? I would guess that you cannot breach an adventure. You can cast the creature, but you can't cast the adventure side. Def can. Okay, so this says each non-lane card in your graveyard has escape equal to the card's mana value. You've breached a stomp. Okay, I'll believe I'm wrong. Rulings definitely get a little weird. What's the reason for not bolting the Paladin? Solitude? There's no reason to bolt the Paladin. I can either, like... I can either let them potentially misplay, because they just don't do the math, and they die to my bolts, or I can let the Swiftspear kill the Paladin. Like, the Swiftspear is either dealing 3 damage to the Paladin, or it's dealing 3 damage to them. So we're just giving our opponent the opportunity to make a mistake. Okay, got a lot of sideboard cards for this matchup. Things can get certainly pretty hairy post-board. I like to trim Channeler because of the Sanctifiers. We'll cut the Grapeshot. I'll trim a Breach. Trim at least 1 Growth, probably 2. Trim a Manamorphose, seems fine. Swiftspear had 4 power. Yeah, I mean, does it matter though? Like, is there really any difference between my opponent being at 2 and being at 3 there? I don't think so. I think it's better to give them the opportunity to mess up when, like, we don't lose the Spell Pierce. But I see it. But you're right. You're right. It was 4 power. I think in that spot it's better to give your opponent a chance to mess up. Yeah, deck techs only via channel points. No more paid deck techs. They had Shockland into something. Yeah, but like, what could that something possibly be out of Hammer? Like, I don't know. Like, it would have to be some weird combo with Gingerbrute. Yeah, but maybe, I don't know. Okay, we got an Ancient Grudge. Let's keep. If I mailed you 2 Lorcana Star decks would be nice to play. No, I don't. Just buy someone you love something nice instead of mailing me Lorcana starter decks. Alright, let's go harvest for a land. Give them their card. We 3-2'd the last league. I made a lot of mistakes, but Questing Druid looked really good. Uh-oh. I guess it's also being a green creature in this matchup is kind of cool. I wonder if this is going to be a weird game where you just cast the Druid. Maybe, maybe not. No, I'm not done. Just let it theme outside.
I was wanting food, and it looks like.
Yeah, I'm pretty far away from being done. So they're going for Cauldra. Probably gonna have to settle this in game 3 if at all. Hey Magus. Is Druid better than Sprite Dragon because of the adventure? I mean, it's certainly not because of not the adventure. But yeah, that is why. It's like a worse Sprite Dragon, but it has a Reckless Impulse just tacked onto it. It's just a really relevant, powerful 3-for-1. And just knowing that they have Sanctifiers, it's just so tough here. Yeah, this is like an example of, I think, a really odd game where I know my opponent has Sanctifier. I'm on the draw against like a fast hammer start. I just need power and toughness in play, so I'm I'm just running the Druids out before using the adventure. I don't think we've done this yet. But the fact that they're green is also kind of funny, where it helps solve the Sanctifier problem a little bit. Or sorry, yeah, the Sanctifier problem. That being said, we'll probably have to settle this one in game 3. And I do think that, like, I will say this, though, like, you know, losing the blue splash is a hit for the deck. I think you could potentially play Teamer without too much problem, but I've experimented with the Harvest tech in Prowess in the past. I usually think that you want to just be 2 colors. The third color is really, it's a bit awkward and a bit painful, but could be better to be Teamer. Get the iterations back in. But also with the questing druids, I think it's kind of fine to just play Druid Manamorphose Breach. I don't know that you need iteration. Okay, so Kozilek's Return is awesome here. Definitely gonna keep. I also have a Grudge. You didn't see the Grudge. Yeah, 3-2 last league. Did punt game 1. I made a lot of mistakes. Could have like maybe even been a 5-0. I don't know. Maybe winning game 3 against the mono black would have been tough. Is Veil? Yeah, I don't think Veil is a good card in Prowess. It's just very difficult to hold up reactive cards that cost a mana. You know, I also don't like any hexproof effects. I've played them in the past, and I don't think that they are optimal. They're not awful, but they're not optimal. Is my thoughts. Crush 2 could be okay. I mean, I don't know how you'd fit it in. You could play one over the Grape Shot, I guess. If you play it, it's almost certainly one of your worst cards. If I draw a land, am I gonna just Kozilek's Return? I might. Well, I did draw the land. I think instead I'm going to cast Swiftspear, attack for 3. My opponent will never ever block. And then if they go for hammer here, if they have 2 hammers and a protection spell I lose, I think I can beat a Cauldra. So I think I just want to do this. And then there's also like a small chance that they don't go for it and I just cast this. Tech for Evan. Give me a second. I might even just cast this. Like, I can take 11, and then if I cast this, I'm pretty likely to just kill them. Yeah, I don't know. So now, yeah, I mean, good beats if they have protection spell. Maybe no, it's killing a hammer is better against second hammer, I guess, because I'm just dead, but I probably can't beat either. Okay, down to 15. Let's go ahead and seek the beast. So we get 9 power right now. We get Lightning Bolt Stomping Ground, so I have 2 more Prowess triggers. So I suppose if my opponent is going to Spell Pierce something, which they definitely don't have Spell Pierce because they didn't Pierce already. But if they were, I'd rather than Pierce the Grudge. Cool. Beat Hammer today, beat Living In. That's kind of nice. 2 kind of scary matchups for Prowess. I'll get to the deck tech in a second. Not like that important. Like even when you cast it off Hellraiser, you don't get the flip side. Yeah, you could definitely splash white or blue for sideboard cards in this deck. You could splash blue and try to play Otter too somehow. The thing is, I do think Otter is worse than all the other creatures. Baldur's Gate 3 any class recommendation playing with a friend? Just pick whatever you think is cool. I don't think that there's really any class that's bad in Baldur's Gate. There's some builds that are like the thing about D&D is like sometimes classes are like better early and they scale late and vice versa. Some builds are like better late and not as good early, but for the most part they're relatively balanced and you can play any class at any point in the game. Like I've been playing at the hardest difficulty, and I even think that there's at the hardest difficulty I don't think there's even any wrong way to play. Wonder if you need some Brothers Hidden for wider decks like Sam Combo 2. You should be pretty good against Sam Combo, I would guess. I wouldn't sweat it too much. Okay, up against Living End again. We do happen to have, you know, Beyond the Play with a super fast hand is definitely a good combination. Yeah, you can also respec a lot in Baldur's Gate. Like there's an NPC that lets you just change your entire class for like 100 gold. I didn't have as much fun with Cleric past level 6. That's funny because I actually feel like Clerics get like much better. Like levels 5 past are like where they're so good. You get Spirit Guardians, you get Double Channel Divinity soon. Teach their own. Well, Timely Force of Negation. Oh, we can beat Misty plus Violent Outburst. We can't beat Misty plus Chartless. Dang. Brew with Mosswood Dread Knight at all enjoyed? I've like put the deck together a little bit, but haven't actually played it yet. Okay, so we have at least two looks at a Bolt or Dart. I'll take it. Making red-green so I could find Abundant Harvest. I think I have to graveyard this because I need to find the Bolt or Dart now because of the food token. Muta. Well, pass back. I guess I'm just super dead. Is there any like thing I can do with Breach? So I chump block here, take 8. Draw Breach, go Swiftspear, Growth. Yeah, that might do it. Although would I still just be dead? It's because of the food. Also maybe. Do I have to block the Waker? If I block here, I have to block Waker. Can't you Mutagenic Growth look for double Dart? No. If I cast Mutagenic Growth here, I can find 1 Dart. And they're at 2. And the Dart is I don't get to deal 2 damage with the Dart. Man, heartbreaker. Thought I was gonna win. Living End still bullshit. You find Dart off second Dart? Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I guess that's the line. You're right. Guess that was the line. You have 8 humans and 8 non-humans of Prowess. Can you play some of One Mind? Just like, why would we play Of One Mind? You could just play, if you're going to play blue, play Expressive Iteration instead. Well, doing good at drawing our chalices. These darts here. I guess you can dart ourselves for Prowess. So if I see another Bauble on top, maybe I'll wait a turn on the Chalice. Okay, just gonna play it now. Want to graveyard the Bolt against the late line. Okay, so now I won't upkeep Mutagenic Growth. We can maybe just dump a ton of creatures in our graveyard with Double Channeler. It happens sometimes. Heartbound, 28 months? Yeah, happy September. Subscriptions are 25% off. I probably should be saying that more. But yeah, they're 25% off this month. I'm just gonna make sure I get Delirium here. We can keep that for the harvest. And then And next turn we can... I'll probably just like dart twice before I harvest so I can dig deep for either like just milling creatures with the Channeler or the Chalice. I don't like actually need another land in play. I think we'll just attack first though. Yeah, gifting should be 25% off too, I think. Not actually 100% sure. If only there was a way to find out. Okay, so maybe with Questing Druid in the yard, I actually want to keep my mountain in play so I can grow it with the darts. I think that probably makes enough sense to not flash back the dart yet. And so, Chalice? No, not quite lucky enough for Chalice. That being said, I think we're beating just the Riverwinder. You know, if my opponent has Force of Negation, Leyline of Sanctity, double Cycler, turn 3 living end, you know, we'll just like we'll lose that game. If they have that plus another Grief, then we get to really, really complain. Tap land, baby! I have no idea how that they just have a tap land. I guess they had a lot of other stuff, huh? Guess they had a lot of other stuff. So still digging for Chalice, still digging for just spinning more creatures. We'll keep an Abundant Harvest. Not playing on Fire Ice? Yeah, I almost never see that in Living In. Yeah, happy to put another creature in the yard. It's a pretty big deal. I think it's actually pretty close between keeping that Bauble and not. I think the fact that I can just find a Chalice right now is a high enough upside to not like look for extra creature off the Surveil. But I find a Bauble and I find another creature off the Surveil, so who knows? If the plan is to get Chalice worth it's like dart first. The thing is like I'm kind of winning if they living end anyways. If I keep the darts in the yard because I get to grow the Questing Druid. So I don't think you're supposed to. Okay, very weird game. I wonder if we could have Endurance in our sideboard for this matchup. I don't know. It's like the Tormod scripts or Endurances are not usually the best way to win the matchup. I'm also just not used to having enough green cards for those kind of effects in this deck. We do have enough. Shocked we beat Leyline, Force of Negation. I mean, you can beat Leyline, Force of Negation, Grief, if they just don't draw a Cascade card. Okay, I would love for them to have a Force of Negation with this hand. Every time I have a hand like this, I just think about... And then maybe this is an argument to play Veil of Summer, but I just think about Edgar telling me that he had 2 Chalices against Rhinos. Played Chalice, gets forced. Veil of Summer the Force, and then you got to play the second Chalice. Just like such an awesome story. Leyline seems mid against us. Yeah, I agree. It's it is not a backbreaking card. It did save them, like saved them a lot of life that game, but man. We do have 2. Do they have another pitch card though? This will mulligan into play, it's okay. So they take a Chalice after some deliberation. They have 3 cards. If they do have a Force and a blue card, they do have Force and a blue card. They'll be down to just 1. So Spear, fantastic draw also. Surprised there isn't more main deck Graveyard Hate in the middle. Yeah, Nassif's Mono Black with so much Graveyard Hate is awesome. The 4 Cling to Dust to like fight the Prowess, like the Undying stuff, is like really cool too. I like Nassif's Mono Black list a lot. Cyclone, Oliphant, Stomping Ground. 3 other cards in their hand after their draw. I think we'll seek the Beast here. Tribal Questing. Yeah, we had thought about playing Questing Beast in the Knight of Sweet's Revenge deck. So you could finale for something to get through their rings, which is probably not correct, but boy does it sound pretty sweet. I'm kind of open to it. Kinda. I'm pretty okay if they force a negation this. It is going to slow me down a good amount, but you know, if they force a negation this, they're just not dealing with the Chalice this turn. Let's cast the Manamorphose this turn. I think there's a fine argument to holding it. What's the best format to play mono red in? I don't know, like, I mean, I don't really play the formats besides Modern these days, you know what I mean? You have to ask someone like Nasi for Jim, who just play a lot of formats all the time. Friends of the 26 months, thank you. Alright, so upkeep Bolt. They go to 1 if I find just Delirium. Keep that though. I would do my adventures in Pioneer. Well, we just got a new set out. I need to be brewing in Modern for a while, but you know, I will maybe play some Pioneer. If we beat Living In twice today, I'll take that. They're still dead, right? Oh no, if they jump, they're not dead. Just to spite them. Another one? Oh no, this is actually lethal, right? Yeah, no, this is actually lethal. Is this a donut deck my creation? Every deck you see on street. Yeah, opponent keeps their 7. Gemstone Caverns. Tanking on what to pitch. Pitches a Haywire Might. So there's Scales probably with the main deck Haywire Might. I mean, could be Breach deck. Not sure. Let's take a peek. I can't wait. They're not gonna have discard. Ink Moss. Yeah, so probably Scales. Opponent says, watched your stream yesterday. Ah, Scales for sure. The mystery solved. I do feel about Preordained and basic Blue-Ray Prowess. It's fine. You know, it's really not that much different than the Abundant Harvest we're playing here. There's Patchy. Very good start, turn 1 Patchwork plus Saga. Gonna actually be kind of tough to beat. Got a lot of Ancient Grudges in the board though. Yeah, it takes a long time to get good at Scales, but you know, you just spend the time. I think Magic players just mostly need to be more comfortable taking their time to learn a deck and making a lot of mistakes. Like I remember when I was like was it when the 2-mana Ozlith came out, I was like learning the deck on stream again, and I had played it before, but it just took me a long time to get like comfortable with it and stuck with it. I feel like I've mastered it now and things are going pretty well. Okay. So I'll probably play Questing Druid. Okay, cast Questing Druid. Well, maybe... Is that right? Or is it ever better to just Swiftspear? It's not as mana efficient. I do have Delirium if I just crack the fetch. The thing is, like, I'm gonna bolt the Saga token. Or if they just don't make a Saga token, I'm just going to not cast the Bolt. Oh, wait, sorry, I didn't see the Scalding Tarn. We actually don't have Delirium. Okay, we'll just Growth now. I'll try to find it. No such... We were missing an instant? Okay. I guess, I don't know. I don't know why I thought we had an instant and didn't think we had a land. Oh, damn it! I've messed this up so many times. I did the exact text. You can't cast it in your instep. It's already gone. It's not till the end of your turn. It's just gone. Damn it. I thought I could bolt the Construct, which is why I was saving it. I did know it was gone this turn, this time at least. Yeah, I'm actually in like much better shape if I've just bolted them here. They didn't get a Shadow Spear. I haven't tried Elusive Honor. It's just Elusive Honor is just not better than Questing Druid, and Prowess doesn't need 2 new creatures. Is my current evaluation. You find a Zabaz. And a Ravager. I'm not dead. But I don't want them to pressure my life total too much because I want to be going for like Breach plus a bunch of growths next turn. But them hitting me for 8 puts me to 5, and I can only growth twice now. Can only growth once if I crack the fetch land. I don't need to crack the fetch land. So I go Swiftspear Breach, this is 3 counters, and I can growth twice, although it'll be very hard to also keep Delirium, which is just not enough. So they just have 2 blockers. Yeah, it's just not enough. So I think we're pretty dead here. Might as well cast a Seek the Beast. I'm not really even sure like what we could be hitting here that gets us out of the situation. I don't think Soul-Scar Mage is involved. Maybe it would be. Let's go to game 2. Is Questing Druid just better than Quirion Dryad? I mean, it's much, much better. It's like a Quirion Dryad, but it also just has a whole other card stapled onto it. It's kind of crazy. Alright, so kind of Grape Shot, 4th Mutagenic Growth, 3rd Breach, 4th Morphos, maybe 3rd Morphos too. Let's try that. Maybe cutting a Questing Druid is fine. I think in these first days I'm gonna be comfortable just playing the full 4. Get more reps with the card. Okay, well we got a Bolt, got an Ancient Grudge. Easy keep. I think post board with 4 grudges we should be pretty fine. Keep land number 2. We're not green have enough to have it. It could be correct to play Force of Vigor over Grudge. I think like in general Prowess is an archetype that doesn't really like to play pitch cards. Was my big concern, but I think it would be fine. So they get a second Ballista into their hand. Hard to imagine that's something they really need here. I think I will Bolt despite maybe this putting me down a Prowess trigger. I think with the Breach in my hand especially, I just want to be using my mana efficiently. And I think with the Breach in my hand and the Grudge, it's correct to keep the Mire. Yeah, you also want to be playing spells on your turn, and being able to like dig for grudges with Channeler is usually pretty good. There's just a lot that. Let's go try to find clear. There's a lot to like about Grudge. So we can hit them for 8 this turn down to 10. We have Grudge flashback up, and then they're super dead to this Breach next turn, I think. So 2 power Ballista, so I don't want to Grudge right now, lest I lose my Swiftspear. But as soon as I get a Prowess trigger on the stack with the Breach or whatever, game will be over. So I have to Ancient Grudge in response to this, otherwise the Ballista will just be gone and I won't actually have a target. Graveyard any card. I'm assuming we have lethal. I'd be very surprised to find out we don't here. They could have held priority. Oh, that is a good line. Ballista hold priority. Wow, I didn't realize they could have killed it there. Pretty uncommon line. Kudos to anybody who saw it. Consider 4th Breach over 4th Harvest? No, I wouldn't. I would not make that change. 3 is I think the right number. They're dead anyways. Maybe not. I don't know that I lethal that turn with just the DRC. They can't hold priority on my turn, so they would have had to do it on their turn. Patchwork is very good here, of course. So is Alpine Moon. Holy shit. I'll trade DRC for Patchwork if they want. Kind of doubt that they would accept the trade, but it's another reason to attack. You can absolutely hold priority on any turn. Can you? Non-control players can still hold priority. I don't think I've ever held priority on my opponent's turn. I don't think that that's ever been like something I've had to do. Have to do it, you know, in Legacy with Infernal Tutor. So we're maybe a little weak to a Ballista here. We can beat it. Or it's not game over, rather. Hangerback is also super bad, actually. Damn. What do we do against Hangerback? Maybe if we could have found a Soul-Scar Mage, that would have been nice. I think killing the Zabaz and killing the green Ozolith is probably the line, just so they don't have a sack outlet for the Hangerback necessarily. Suppose I crack this. It's like I will cast a Swiftspear. We're not going to attack with it, but I want to cast it this turn. Guess they don't have red mana, but I don't know. I think this still makes sense. Could have also maybe made sense to keep the other channeler. Yeah, so they have to have a Ravager or Zabaz red source to pop their hanger back. One of their two cards is a Beseiju. The other one is an X spell. Hoping it's another hanger back. It's a Ballista. Oh yeah, Cauldron would have been good too. So... Wait. They're killing both or just one? They're killing both. Okay. So I go to 4. I can't imagine that that was the correct line, actually. I mean, I can imagine it, I guess. So I'm probably just gonna seek the beast here. Keeping a land seems okay. I'm gonna graveyard it though. We found a Bauble and a Manamorphose, so I'll Bauble first. Graveyard. Let's see what they're drawing. You know, relatively unimportant. Hardened Scales. Then we can cast the Questing Druid as a chump blocker. Then we should be winning here, right? You had lethal? How do I have lethal here? So someone explain the lethal line to me. Bolt Growth. No, I can't Bolt Growth and keep Delirium. I only had like 7 cards in the graveyard at the start. Like maybe I could have if I got very lucky, but I briefly did it, but like we had like 7 cards in the yard. There's like I don't think there's any way to keep Delirium. You bolt after attacking? Oh well, that'll probably have done it then. The post-combat bolt, the high-level play. Damn it. You win again, chat. Fine. We're gonna get the job done here, though. You spent mana to draw the growth. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I would love for chat to be wrong somehow. I've taken a lot of game actions. Anything could be true at this point. Yeah, I know to keep up Bolt. We can also find an Ancient Grudge or Lava Dart here, but... Just show them the growth from hand, I guess. Could easily breach 1/2. I guess the dart doesn't work on the Inkmoth since they have the Pendlehaven, but this is good enough. Cool. Some more. Yeah, Eldrin is definitely, I think, overperformed from most people's initial perceptions, even from my perception, although I think I was maybe a bit higher on it than most people. Yeah, Run Afoul for Murktide. Yeah, Druid has been really good. The Questing Druid has been overperforming, I think. I do think, like, for the longest time, Prowess, like the Sprite Dragon just isn't quite cutting it. Arcanist not quite cutting it. Really wanted one more really good threat, and I think a lot of people thought it might be Otter, but it is. I think it just is Questing Druid. It puts on a mold to 5. I think Questing Druid be playable in the green-red Storm Poison deck. I don't know. It's like I don't know how much you care about the creature side in that kind of strategy, but. You would have to be a deck that cares more about beating down, and at that point, why are you not just normal Prowess? You know what I mean? Low-key want to see Druid humans? Maybe. It'd be very kind of hard to cast in a lot of the traditional shells. You'd have to really get weird with it. Okay, this is not a good hand against Tron, although it is it's Dice Factory Tron, which is just so weak to all the Ancient Grudges we have. Kind of a weird draw. I think in this kind of matchup, you just cast the Druid probably. I don't know, Noble, Vile, and Tribal lands. Well, you don't want to Vile Questing Druid in ever, right? You want to adventure it usually, otherwise it's not a very good card. Runaway Steamkin. I just don't think you really want another. Don't play Serum Powder in your modern deck. I don't think I don't think hold on. Maybe just go land into Reckless. My opponent knows I'm complaining about it. I can't even know what to say. Proving me right. Just a bit of banter. Joe love a dart. Thank you, opponent, for proving me right. I mean, if they have a ring, we could be in some bad shape, maybe. People playing 2 copies of Powder and Belcher. Just don't register. Just don't register Serum Powder. Every amazing hand I see, but with 1 land and a powder, I think of you. Amazing hand with 1 land and a powder. Here is the scam of Serum Powder. Okay, when you have an awful hand that has a Serum Powder in it, and you're like, oh boy, I get to use Serum Powder. I get to mulligan. Do you know why your hand is awful? Do you know why you can't keep your hand? Because it has a Serum Powder in it. It's just such a scam. You can like never keep a hand with Serum Powder in it, or almost never. You really don't want to. You don't want to keep a hand with Serum Powder in it. So you just click the powder button. But you could just have a good card instead and have a keepable hand. I don't know. I just hate it. You ever like draw Serum Powder? Yeah, it's good in Vintage Bazaar. Yeah, opponents definitely do a good job of psychic damaging me. Taking pretty long time too. I wonder what they have. Yeah, if you could play 8 Serum Powder, it would be kind of broken. You just exile your whole deck and then play Oracle. Hi, Lucy. We'll keep that. So we hit a Grape Shot? This is gonna be a good Grape Shot turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5. I guess. What are we doing about the Urza's, the Saga token? Huh. I mean, it is a little bit of a problem. I can't kill the Saga token. Right? Corrected bottom. Okay, so I have. Yeah, I just need to count this. So 5 damage to the Lava Dart, 7 plus 4 plus 3. 7 plus 4 plus 3 is 14, right? Annoyingly, not enough. So storm count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6. Okay, we'll just do that then. Dreadhorde token. The token's a 3/3 because of the powerful Serum Powder being a 3 mana artifact. Okay, if I miscounted by 1, the Lava Dart helps me compensate a little bit. Gross with Breach and DRC was also lethal. Yeah, that's the thing. I think at first glance, it always looks like it's lethal with DRC and Growth, but I don't know that it was, because what life total did my opponent start with? Because I could only Growth like 5 times, and I don't know that I could do so while keeping Delirium on the Channeler. I don't actually know that it was lethal. I know that it always looks like it's lethal at first. But I don't actually know that it was in that spot. I hadn't done the math yet, but I did find the math for a lethal line, so just got to do this instead. 5 was exactly enough. Yeah, I just hadn't done the math yet. What was it 5 with keeping Delirium on Channeler? Because I don't know that I could have done that. I actually think I probably could not have done that, but I'm not sure. Yeah, like the +3 from the Channeler, I don't think is guaranteed there. So go down to like 1 Breach in these kind of matchups. Trim a Growth, trim 2 Manamorphose. Let's do that. I'm more scared of Sprite Dragon than Druid. Well, like, what deck do you play? Like, Sprite Dragon is better against Tron. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sprite Dragon is better, is a more aggressive creature. But Questing Druid comes stapled with a Reckless Impulse in the Scam metagame. You know, it's just a 3-for-1, which is awesome. Big B with the 8 months, thank you. Yeah, you could play a Crash through over the Grape Shot, maybe. The Grape Shot's kind of cute. I haven't played enough with it, so I kind of like having it here. Oh, sorry, I did miss this comment. Has Questing Druid plus Harvest felt awkward? It's just such a unique card. Like, it's just a combination. Like, Prowess is a deck that wants to play. It wants to play Reckless Impulses, and it wants to play Prowess creatures. And Questing Druid is just, like, it's just literally both. It's kind of ridiculous. Please, Serum Powder. Oh, they did Serum Powder. Like, literally look at this hand. It's so close. Tower, Tower, Power Plant, Serum Powder. I guess I don't know what it is you're playing Serum Powder over that you could keep, but it doesn't really feel like it'd be that far off. I guess I go for DRC here. I do usually play DRC first in these spots. They have another mine on top. Is Pia Questing Druid potential a bit slow? It would likely be more of a Pioneer power level plan. Sorry for the alliteration. Okay, I played enough Dice Factory to know to just kill the stupid Cornucopia here. Oh, I can also dart the Core Tapper. I guess I will not dart the Core Tapper yet. It's just better to like go Swiftspear, 1-drop next turn, and then dart then. So their hand is mine 4 mystery cards. One of those mystery cards was an Urza's Tower. Oh boy. That's a good one. Damn. Sorry, Serum Powder. Are they ever blocking there? I would say they're always blocking there. Like, if they block, it's just a disaster. I would block there, too. What's the difference between wizards and sorcerers in D&D? Wizards study to get their powers, and sorcerers are born with it. And yeah, charisma versus int. Nice that we could beat a Chalice here. They get a Cornucopia. Cool. Very surprised that that's the pick. How does that affect which character I make? Well, that's up to you, right? I mean, if they also have a ring... Oh my gosh. Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry. What's the card? Serum Powder. Did I ever insulted you? That seems actually pretty good. Let's keep that. Basically just guarantee being able to attack for lethal next turn. Hopefully they draw 3 Serum Powders. Uh-oh. Just dead. Well, I guess we're not just dead because they don't have a mana battery right now. If they have Everflowing Chalice, we get to be so annoyed. Oh my goodness. I can't believe they had Everflowing Chalice. Paradox Engine, Natron, Ring Card, that's so much. I don't know that they can actually win here though. Maybe they probably can. Oh yeah, with the node that you can easily win here. They'd have to have a 0 in their hand. Yeah. Kind of impossible for them to fizzle now. Serum Powder MVP, MTGO into play. So Gandalf the White is a wizard. Yeah, Gandalf by D&D terms would probably be categorized as a sorcerer, I would think. Although he's also studies, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe both multi-class. Do you think Jund Saga is the type of deck that could benefit from running 61 cards? You're probably overthinking it a little bit, but you know, it is a deck with tutors. It is a deck with kind of a weird mana base. I don't think 61's terrible. Like a paladin? Yeah, maybe like a cleric too. Divine Soul Sorcerer, yeah. Gandalf transcends the boundaries of D&D class a little bit, maybe. My opponent rubbing it in with the serum powder. Don't know that I want that. It's kind of close. Let's shuffle it. If it was a Swiftspear, maybe I've kept it. But I'm kind of just like looking for Ancient Grudges, you know. Yeah, Prowess is live. Think of the 34 months Blossom. Okay. Yeah, so I think we have to go for Questing Druid. We can do a lot of digging for an Ancient Grudge. They don't have a second Tron piece, despite having the map. That's actually pretty big news for us. Got a lot of looks at an Ancient Grudge. We have 4 grudges. So Seek the Beast. For another Questing Druid and an Arid Mesa. So I think we're going to lose the Adventured. Questing Druid and be fine with that. Maybe could have kept the Lava Dart up this turn. I want to get my Surveil going, though. If they have another mana battery in their hand, it's not super ideal, but we do have the Grudge flashback, you know. And then next turn we can Lava Dart the Core Tapper, and then Grudge the mana battery, worst case scenario. I also would like to go Questing Druid into Manamorphose into, like, Dart Grudge, potentially. When was the last time I played against Creativity? It's been a couple weeks since I played against Creativity. Seemed like for a second maybe it would be back up on the uptick. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been, but I'm also enjoying the break from playing against Creativity so much. So they do have another mana battery. I have 6 total mana here. They have a Relic, which can exile my Grudge. 3 cards left in their hand. Serum Powder is one of them. And then plays the map, and then we know no card in their hand. So I'm gonna play my Questing Druid here. And then I'm gonna make green so that I can flashback a Grudge if I Surveil it. Oh, or I could just keep it. After all, why shouldn't I keep it? Grudge is like such a nightmare to play against for this deck. I almost feel bad. Okay, so 8 plus 1 plus 5 spells. This is 8. 8 plus 8. It's good enough. We do need to find Delirium, I think, to have lethal, but not necessarily that tough. And then we can also maybe Grudge the Serum Powder, which would be Karmic Justice for my opponent. So they can get Tron next turn. They do only have one card in their hand, so it's not even guaranteed that they're going to have a big payoff. Okay, so all of my effects are going to be at instant speed here, so I don't see much reason to not just go to attackers and then see if we're going to grudge the construct now or not. Okay, so we are. So we won't get to kill the Serum Powder, unfortunately. Still looking for Delirium, right? Okay, so this is 4/4, that's going to grow to 8/8, 8/9 plus 8, 9 plus 8, 17. Yeah, we need to find Delirium. Not actually super likely to find Delirium. I guess the dart putting the Land of the Yard helps. Yeah, and then finding one type here helps. Yeah, so we need a sorcery, enchantment, or artifacts. Another grudge is interesting here. I could just keep the grudge up. Let's go for lethal. So still have not found that elusive last type. One more look. Missed. Grudge the map. They can sack it with the Serum Powder. Serum Powder again, super relevant card. Opponent decides not to crack the Expedition map, which is wild. They immediately decide not to make a Saga token. Also kind of wild. Since, like, just pop Relic, make a Saga token, could buy them a turn. When I start prepping for Atlanta? No, Atlanta's still, like, 3 months away, right? I think almost 3 months away. It's a little early to prep. Okay, do you turn things around? I mean, they could get Tron and cast like a ring, you know? Ring, Karn into ring. Doom was saying it's negative a card today, saying next in step is... I mean, I think Questing Druid is likely worse in Pioneer than it is in Modern. Like, the mana curves in Pioneer are much higher in Pioneer than Modern. Like, these kind of reckless impulse effects are a lot worse in that format. I don't know. And like Prowess in general is an archetype that I don't think is good in Pioneer, so I just don't know. So we get to kill Karn. We have an Ancient Grudge we could save for like Paradox Engine if they get Ring. I'm assuming they're getting Ring. Yeah. Let's play this turn best way possible. I think they almost definitely should have just got Tron off the map, but maybe I'm missing something, like them having Blast Zone. But I agree. Like if they see they have a card in their hand, they're not making a Saga token. Well, GG. We have 65 days before we have to submit Decklist for Atlanta. Okay, it's a little sooner than I thought, but so I guess I probably should be prepping soon, huh? Getting Winter's Fair. I guess that's a fine plan, huh? I'm gonna grudge the Serum Powder. They know what's happening. They say no. When is the RC? It's in December. Alright, let's get a trophy prediction going. Up the Beanstalk about overperform for me. I could keep this. Yeah, I haven't touched Pioneer since since DreamHack Dallas. Have I missed iteration? I haven't really missed iteration, no. Oh, we lost to Selfie the other day. I can't remember what they were playing. Storm, I think, actually. I think they were playing the Blue-Red Storm deck. Yeah, the Naya Beanstalk deck seemed alright. I think that it's probably not the best Beanstalk deck in the world. Probably do want to be playing 4-color or Bant, but I liked it. tried Rowan's Grim Search at all? I cannot remember what that card does. I don't think it was on my radar. Classic to play with some Grief Mono Black pile. I may just be misremembering. I thought I lost to them playing Blue Red Storm the other day. Yeah, we were playing Beanstalk in the Naya deck, just kind of like kind of an interesting angle of Naya. But just in general, Beanstalk seemed very good. Like the card just felt very powerful with Bindings and Furies and Solitudes. It was a great draw. Yeah, I don't think Rowan's Grim Search is probably very good. Seems like it would likely be worse than Sauron's Ransom or you shuffle that away. Sauron's Ransom or Shadow Prophecy and those kind of decks. Were there Beanstalk Doubters? I don't know if there are Beanstalk Doubters. I thought Beanstalk would be good, but for me, I feel like it was performing better than I expected it to, despite me expecting it to be good. Interesting. I'm expecting them to scam this Grief. You're not going to see, yeah, all natural Grief. Alongside the Saga is certainly throwing me off a little bit, but kind of excited to see what they do. So I probably want to save the Dart to kill a Saga token. I guess I can kill both Saga tokens with it. When you fire up Moto, did the window sizes remain consistent? They stay the same, so I don't have to resize them every game. There's been like sometimes it's been like a little bugged and I have, but if everything's performing correctly, I shouldn't. They don't have a third land. They have a push on my Channeler and my Upkeep. Let's go ahead and Bolt or Dart the Grief, get a -1 counter on it, and then get a Surveil. And I will be reasonably happy to just keep another Channeler. Could even just not attack. Not attacking in your Prowess deck is like a little weird sometimes, but yeah, I guess the problem with not attacking too is if they just get Nihil Spellbomb, I don't actually have a great block. They forgot to float mana. Oh, they're playing the Rack. Cool. So if I Dart this, I'm not actually taking any time off the clock, so I think I just take it for now. Put in a 5. It did take a turn off the clock if they don't have a discard spell, huh? I think I'm just gonna take my draw. Relatively good draw. Okay, I wanted to be able to draw Breach and have it be good. I think I needed an extra mana for that, so I'm just gonna dig one more here. Okay. Grape Shot would be maybe lethal now or close to it. Okay, Graveyard. Should get the job done. Assuming no Fatal Push, which is maybe a lot to assume. Do I have a Swiftspear in the yard? I don't have a Swiftspear in the yard. But I could also just go Channeler and draw enough cards off Bauble that the Rack isn't going to kill me. Okay, then they concede. Cool. That was nice. Grudge seems pretty good against them. Grudge has been like weird, the weird all-star this league. I think I'm going to go way down on my Mutagenic Growth, down to, let's keep one in and cut the Grape Shot. And then they are a Saga deck, so keeping this is probably fine, or bringing this in is probably fine. I did make my sub goal, yeah, thank you for checking in, Theodore. When the effects of that should go into play next month. We'll see. Okay, this could be our first trophy of the new season. Feeling pretty good. We also like maybe could have trophied the last league if I had played better. So definitely a good start for the Questing Druid deck. Yeah, Questing Druid has really been overperforming. I've been very impressed by it. Yeah, maybe trophy race time, huh? Not really a matchup you can mulligan in too often. It's always if you're gonna keep a one lander, you want it to be a Stomping Ground too, so you can draw Ancient or Abundant Harvest. I'm gonna keep. You could also miss a land drop or two here, pretty easy. Yeah, I still haven't bought any WOE cards. Probably need to. I think next weekend I might have a paper Modern RCQ or something. Okay, they have Scam again, this time on a mulligan to 6. This Lightning Bolt won't be in my hand anymore. I don't know what other card they're taking. Did 8 racket anything? I don't think so. Oh, it did. It got something. Not dead after all. One of the most played cards in Modern, actually. First time seeing a roll in Magic Online also. Alright, get good. I'll take a damage. Alright, both of us keeping one landers. Feeling pretty ahead though. You're playing against Rack and you're up like 3 cards like this, or 2 cards. It's pretty nice. I guess it's just whenever they mulligan on the play, huh? I've died to someone killing their own grief? Oh, that's so obnoxious. Wait, they can scam again? Okay, no longer feeling ahead. They pitched Fatal Push. What's the main difference between 4-color Rhinos and Team of Rhinos? One plays Leyland Binding and one doesn't. Not a huge difference, no. Man, opponent is not a believer in the Questing Druid, huh? Alright, so I'm down to 13. If I draw a land, I mean just... I don't know, Seek the Beasting is awkward when you're just casting it to trigger Prowess and stuff. I don't know, we'll see. If it's a fetch land and one type closer to Delirium. They have another spell for me here. Chalice on one, well, I mean... almost no spell I'd rather them cast on this board. Land? I'm gonna attack again. They have a lot of 1-drops in their deck too. I'm kind of surprised I don't know. So this is like a little weird. I can't crack the fetch. I have to block, so I guess we'll just pass here. Maybe I should have attacked with the Channeler. How do I want to block with the Channeler? Probably not. I wonder if they have another Undying effect in their hand. Kind of interesting. Can I ever just Questing Druid? I probably have to Grudge. Oh. Dang. Man, their draw's been so good. That's a pretty good one, though. Yeah, it's a really good one. Okay. May have to settle this in game 3. Seek the Beast. Underworld Breach, Ancient Grudge. Probably not going to do it here. Especially with my Lava Dart getting exiled. Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay, game 3. Nothing we can harvest into. That was like the best 8-rack one-lander I've ever seen. Although they maybe are only playing like a couple racks as like Urza Saga targets. Get to be on the play for game 3. The verdict on Blossoming Tortoise. I still want to play around with it some. It was definitely an underperformer for me initially. Usually 3 main deck. Yeah, is there a list? I'm actually very curious about opponent's build. I remember like when Lurrus was around, I played some Urza Saga rack decks that were okay. Well, not a matchup you really can mulligan in, I think, and also a hand that can afford to miss some lane drops. Okay, Breach dead, it's okay. I like Agatha's Soul Cauldron. It's been an overperformer for me. 7-card Leyline of the Void Scam Grief hand is pretty good. I'm so tired of this card. I grow so weary of Grief. It's a good pickup. Do you still need to draw land? But you know, just draw land. Yeah, a well-named card. Keep the Prowess deck on radar for the Modern Challenge. I think I'm going to play the Modern Qualifier on Sunday this weekend instead of the Challenge. Alright, we need a land, and we need it now. Although I guess we'll take that. Mishra's Factory is very cool. I love Mishra's Factory. Can't decide Agatha Scales and Yogg for the showcase. So what would I recommend? I really like the Agatha Scales deck. That's probably what I'll play. Kind of funny that both could really easily be an Agatha deck. Maybe the problem isn't Grief, but a non-stop support scam is seen for 2 years. What does that mean? Just like is like Lurrus ban plus Bowmasters being printed as the scam support, or? I don't feel like them printing Not Dead after all is like a huge deal, just kind of annoying. It's just Factory Saga and Voidwalker deck. That's fine. I don't know. I played Voidwalker with a bunch of Field of Ruins, kind of the same thing. Never bored. But this deck is very cool. I like it. But overall, good stream. Got a nice 6 hours in. Definitely feeling like the new cards are performing really well. Probably have to double block here. Excited to play the Bant Beanstalk deck tomorrow. Probably also going to play Vile Scales. We'll see. We'll see if we'll play a third thing. Probably just those two. Although I do want to cast some more Knight of Sweet's Revenge. That card was just so immediately impressive. How many Feign Death effects can you actually run a mono black with only Grief to scam no Fury? Yeah, that is kind of an interesting question. Like, my opponent seems to be playing a lot of them. Like, they're playing, like, at least 5, probably 6. But, like, to me, I think it's kind of tough to run that many. Like, that's why I was always playing Malika Rebirth and when I was playing mono black. So, like, you could play it as a land when you didn't have Grief, because you just don't often have Grief. Alright. Believers aren't eating, but new cards are performing well. I think that's more important than dumb 5-0s. Cool deck opponent. Not super worried about Leyline. I'm worried about Leyline plus Grief plus removal, but I think in this deck, you know, you can beat a Leyline. Okay, but it's hard to beat Leyline plus Grief plus removal. I'm going to raid Demonic Tutors, whose stream title is